rattlesnake, man.
This is,
Hey, what's up, Mike?
Mike. There's another Mike, and that's my brother Boone.
Y'all do concrete?
No. We've done a little bit of concrete, right?
Yeah, I used to pour curb.
Yeah, we used to do curb.
Boone. How's it going, Chris?
And who are you?
Chris.
Chris?
Concrete
Nice to
guys.
meet you, Chris.
Nice to meet you.
Michael, how you doing?
Yeah, how are you?
Doug.
Good to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you too. Hey, everybody, this is Mike Valentino. That's that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he's our photographer and PR guy, and helping. We take a lot of photographs, hopefully. So awesome.
Hey, it's this side though, okay?
I know. Wait, your good side? Which side?
Yeah, wait, I don't know. I forgot.
Oh, turn around.
The stick of
There you go. All right. So, we're gonna. So today, so let's just do introductions first. Obviously, I'm Doug. Obviously, so we got Michael, Justin, and Boone. These guys are kind of like our foremen on the site. They've been working with me for quite a while now.
Okay.
And so they know this job site well. We built all this together. We're building the dock right now. Robert, he's got a lot of concrete experience. We pretty much running the crew. Yeah. Chris, I didn't even meet you yet, buddy. Hey, I'm Chris. I'm Doug. Yeah. Hey, Chris, you're from San Marcos. Thanks for driving in. You got some good working on concrete and doing form crews. Gavin here is he's done a lot of pool work, done a lot of steel, all that good stuff. So obviously we've been building one heck of a pool.
For being 23, he has a lot of knowledge.
Yeah, he just educated me on about all the different pole coatings and finishes, and I'm like, awesome. So yeah, deal.
Keep you out of trouble.
I know. So like that, it's gonna be really exciting. But yeah. So anyhow, just a little bit about me. I mean, Boone, Michael, and Justin know, but I won't ask y'all to do anything that I wouldn't do myself. And so, I get right there with you. Sometimes I get in the way. But sometimes I gotta just get busy and get in there and help out. But like I always said, we don't be afraid to make mistakes out here. Just be safe. You make a mistake. We make a mistake, we can fix it. Don't worry about that. Some people, get a little worried about that. But it's construction. We'll fix it. The only time we can't fix things is when you get concrete in the ground, and then it gets real expensive. You can't move the foundation. But that's what we're doing here. Doing a lot of foundation work. It's the most important part of the project. It's where everything gets stable and strong. And also, if you look at the way we're going to build these foundations, is we're not going to cheap out. We're going to put a lot of steel and a lot of extra concrete. A lot of concrete guys will want to do like 1 foot beams or whatnot. We'll do an 18-inch beam. I don't care. Concrete's not that much. Steel, I like using thick steel. Some guys will try to use number 4s and stuff. We're going to use 5s and 6s. We're going to make this thing really strong. Today we're going to go over plans, kind of get y'all a feel of everything, because it's a complicated job. This is the most complicated job I've ever done. It's going to be about 10 pours when it's all said and done. And I know you don't believe it yet, but on top of this hill is going to be a house. And on the back side of that hill, we've carved it out already into the granite, and there's going to be a sub-basement on this house. And then you're going to walk into it, and it's going to be first floor, second floor. And so we had to excavate to get the slope squared away for the basement on this house. But so we're going to go over the plans. We're going to set string lines today. All this material here, we're going to be building the batter boards. Some of the thin stuff, the 1/4 inch, we're going to be using that for a whole bunch of arced surfaces. The curb forms that we're going to do. And I'll show y'all how to do that if y'all haven't done that work yet. But yeah, so we're going to get started on that. But Boone, you got plans? Perfect.
Sure.
Awesome. So it's you had the full set of construction.
There's this one. Let's see what this one is. This is the one I just pulled out of the bag.
Oh yeah, right on.
Set.
Okay.
So this should be most of it.
Okay, cool. Let's go borrow the. And that's another thing. So there's 2 properties here, right? Over there is the neighbor's property. They're really cool, and we're building this retaining wall on the joint property line. But we just got to respect their property, obviously, and so they don't like us. I mean, yeah, we can walk on it, whatnot, but obviously trash and camping on their property, so we just got to respect it. But on the back area of the deck, they got little cameras and stuff, but they know we're working and that we're doing all this, and I have their permission. They're paying for some of it. So yeah, we're gonna, like I said, just respect it, but we'll be walking on it. So we get to use their back deck over there as our office space real quick. So let's go take a look at that. So we've done most of the excavation already, as you can see. So this is where the main house is going to go. And you see the survey stakes. And the survey company we brought out, they actually did back of batter boards for the foundation survey. And so we came in here, myself, Boone, Michael, and Justin. We excavated all this rock out, and if you look at that rock, it is hard stuff. And so we broke it all out, and we're good. The nice thing is we're already down about 18 inches below finished floor on the foundation, and so we've already set. We'll put the string lines back up, but we've got the string lines that we're tying in for the first floor, sub basement, and then where we tie it in. And so those corners are good; those are real nice. This string line over here, we're going to have to recheck it, mainly because we hit it with a machine going down that hill. And we're going to square it up, make sure it's good. But that string line will run back to the string line we have set right there, which I don't think was hit. So we'll square it up, make sure that's good. So you can see the foundation sits, I'm pretty much standing on the edge of the foundation here. So we're going to have a 10-foot wide driveway we're going to put in.
Yeah. But
before we can do that driveway, you got to look over here and look at this part of the property. So, gentlemen, this is where the retaining wall is going to go. And if you look down there, you can see the orange survey marker kind of between the trees. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to set up a string line from there, and we're going to run it all the way up to the string line up here. And that is pretty much the height of the retaining wall. When I calculated it, it's about 16 feet tall at that point right there. And so what we're going to be doing is I got a set of plans in my truck, I'll show you. We're going to put a 4-foot basin down there, and then we're going to build a structure just out of steel. And it's going to be number 5s, 1 foot 1 foot spacing on the steel, and double caged. It's going to be a 12-inch thick retaining wall. We're doing nothing on the back side of it, and the steel is going to come on up. And right here where we're standing, where Michael's standing, we're going to dig out with my mini excavator right here about a 5-foot wide and transitioning to a 10-foot wide base. And it's going to be what they call a dead man. And we're going to lay steel down flat with the same cage as the steel continues up. And when we do the gunite, we're going to spray both. And what that does is structurally, you have the bottom structural portion so it won't slide out. But the steel comes up, the dead man comes over, and then we're going to backfill with about 6 foot, 8 foot of material on top of it. So that wall cannot turn itself over because it's going to have all that weight on top of it. So it won't rotate. It can't rotate, and with all that weight, it's going to be probably an overbuild is what we're planning for it. As that wall comes up, it's going to continue along the ground here. So it's going to go from 16 feet to about a 10-foot transition to about right about here, and then we're going to excavate this out, and that's where the dead man will continue over. We'll transition about 5 feet because there's no reason to put a 10-foot wall, 10-foot base. We'll have a 5-foot base on a probably 8-foot wall here, and then right here we'll transition the wall over to where it ties in flat with the foundation, the same height elevation as the subfloor of the basement. And then that's where we're going to stop, right about where the survey stake is. And then this is later for down the road. We're going to get excavator in. We're going to clean up all that property line. We're going to run probably a 4-foot retaining wall all the way the length of the property down that side of it. Then we get down there a little bit further past where we're doing the big retaining wall. We're going to make a turn to the left, and we make an arc that comes on in and ties into the road that we're going to put in going down the property. So that is that. So all we're doing right there is steel tying here. We're going to put batter boards up on this side, and that's just to stop the gunite. The gunite is not very, you don't need anything really huge structural, just enough to hold the batter boards up. And when you spray the gunite, they'll form it up and shape it up. So that is this little section of project. Now you'll see the survey stake that says number 62. Okay, that is where it gets fun. And I already started. You can kind of see that little trench over there. That's a 4.5-foot wide beam that's going to be holding up the pool structure. And that beam is what I call the keel. It's like a dam keel. And so the way the engineers drew it, it was about 12 inches, 12-inch beams on each side of it. But by the time you put the the double beams in and whatnot, you only had about a foot and a half of the bagging material. So we're just going to pour it all as one beam, one concrete. So we're going to form that up, and that's where the arc is for the pool. It'll come around. I dug down to the actual rock in the corner, so we want to set this beam, this keel, on the actual rock, because as we build backwards, we're going to be building the pool foundation, and then we come back to the house foundation, and we're going to, like I said, we build backwards. We can't have this keel shift at all or move, so it's pretty much holding everything up from sliding down this hill. And if you look at the material, you see how the rubble is and the rock. It is it's very soft. It's not very good base to build your foundation on. So we dug down to the rock, and then we're going to build backwards. The other thing that makes it a little more complicated when we form this up is going to be a double set of forms, because we have to put a French drain behind it. So we're going to put a 4-inch pipe with holes, and what that is it allows any water that seeps down through this hill to get out from underneath the foundation, and that's important. So typically what we would do is we'd build a set of forms, and then we'd bag behind it, but we have to get behind it after we pour it. So that's why we're doing a double on that. And so, that's going to be one set of pour, and then behind it we'll put another beam. We'll do another wall for the pool, and that's where the pool will actually set on. And then we'll go back to the main house foundation, which will be another pour right here. And then behind that we're doing a set of retaining walls against the side of the hill there. And then on top of that, we got another, the main house foundation on top of that. So you start counting the pours, you go 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. We got, I think it was 9 to 10 individual pours on this job. And then up this hill, we're going to be doing flat work. And the way I kind of want to cheap that out either, so we're probably going to do 5-inch concrete with number 3 rebar on the way up it. And that's more of a commercial grade type driveway. But with the slope and all that, it's like, well, let's just do that. The folks that own this property, you can see where we put the electrical conduit in. They want us to put a driveway in all the way down from the water all the way up to here. And then at the bottom there, they have a shed foundation as well. That I think it's going to be like a 7x13 and a little bit of a retaining wall down there. So I know you're all going, man, this is an easy job.
What did I get myself into?
I know. So we got 2 more guys. I figure I'm gonna have 5 hard-working guys working this job, and like I said, it's going to be at least 4 months of work, is my guess. And then as we start other projects, we can always pull off different aspects of this, and we can stop driveway work and go do other foundations if we need to. We come right back onto the driveway stuff, and that's the big plan on this. So, and then this will be kind of a fun job. Is the dock? These docks out here are made out of steel, but the docks actually have concrete on top, and they put a fiberglass mesh into the like they chop it up and they put it in a mixer, and when you lay that, they use that as the rebar, as the material that holds the concrete together on the dock. And so that's 1,000 square feet of concrete on the dock. So that'll be a fun pour. We'll do it with a line pump to get it down there, and it'll work out pretty good. So we got all kinds of steel, and we got all kinds of boards to form up, and that's where we're at. So I got 2 more guys that are coming. They didn't get the memo as far as they thought meet at the parking lot at 8:30, but I meant 7. I said be here at 8:30. Details, right? So. Yeah.
Little things.
Yeah. This one here. So the property is really narrow. It's only 68 feet wide, but it's 400 foot deep. Down here is the water. So I guess the plans are backwards if y'all think of it like that. But here's the garage structure that's already constructed, and then here is the house structure up top here, and this is the sub basement portion of it. And you can see this is where the retaining wall is. That's built, and the retaining wall follows those stakes. And then here is, like I said, the main foundation. But you kind of get the orientation for that. And the things we got to watch is that we'll be very particular with is that there's 5-foot offsets on the property, and the city here is very particular, and even the overhangs of the building can't be more than about a foot. So we've already planned in 6 feet, actually 6.5 feet, because we have an 18-inch eave on the roof. So the foundation has to be 6.5 feet over, which the survey crew already staked for us. And then we have an 18-inch eave, so it puts us exactly at 5 feet from the property line. which is staked over there, which is important for us to hit that. So this is the each one of the survey stakes that are labeled, and you can kind of see what they are. And you can see on this corner right here, number 51 is the one in the very, very corner over by the mini excavator. And so they did back of batter boards, which, you know, just got to keep that in mind. Whereas the ones over here in the front of the property, facing the lake, those guys are front of batter boards. So we just got to kind of watch that. But like I said, those string lines are actually pretty accurate. But we'll verify. You know, what is it? Measure 3 times and cut once. Okay, so here is this is the pool foundation. Okay, and it is structurally engineered, which is great. The engineers did leave off. I wouldn't call it a mistake. They just left it off. So what we're forming, the very first thing, I was talking about the arc and the 4-foot dam keel. That is this portion right along here. And the engineers drew it at 3.5 feet. But what they forgot to do is to add the actual pool. Once the gunite company comes on and sprays the gunite, they have to add a foot. And so we have to expand this by an extra foot. So we're going to do a double beam underneath it. So a 24-inch concrete beam to hold that up. So it actually ends up being 4.5 feet. And then, so that's what we're pouring is this section right here first. And that is that. Well, they only asked for an 18-inch, you know, down to subgrade. Well, once we did that, it was just, I'm sitting on sand. And so if you look, when we walk over there, you look in the corner, I've excavated down one portion, probably about 6 feet, and I'm down into solid rock. Now I went below rock grade so that the keel sits down below the rock so that no matter what, the keel can't push the rock out. And so it's going to be very, very stable. And instead of compacting this and filling it with select fill, because by the time we put a 1-inch or 1-foot beam in and a 2-foot beam, and we'd only be left with about a, you know, like a 1-foot thing of sand, we're just going to go ahead and pour it with concrete. And so, like I said, and we're going to build it more, I guess, stronger than what they asked for. We're going to build it with number 5s on the rebar, and we're going to do 1-foot 1-foot cages on the rebar. Instead of doing like a typical beam, we're going to build it like a retaining wall. And so it's going to be an overbuild on this beam, an overbuild on this beam. On the cross members on top, I have number 4s because it's not holding that much weight. But under the main structural portion of the pool, we're going to use the larger steel and the bigger beams. Whereas on the top portion, it's already overbuilt at a foot thick, and then we have another foot of gunite sitting on top of it. So when we put the rebar in, we're a long ways from putting the rebar in, but just so I say it, we're actually going to have the rebar from the finished floor, we're going to have it stick up a foot. And so that way the pool company can tie their steel into to the pool, right into the foundation. So we're going to have steel sticking out here and here. And then actually we'll have like probably little loops out of the steel for the gunite crew as well. Then when we build the main foundation, we'll do the exact same thing. And that's the exact same thing we're going to do on the retaining wall. We're going to have it stick up. Once we get the finished string lines up, we'll run the steel up about 10 inches above because we'll tie in the flat work along with the curve work on top of that right into the steel. But like I said, we get there, we'll remind you on that. So looking at the pool foundation, this is right here. You can see where they're doing the French drain behind the dam keel. Because like I said, we're only doing this portion right now. And the French drain to get behind that, so we're going to double form this up. So we're going to put a set of forms here this way, and then a set of forms this way. And then we're also going to, once we measure these off, we'll actually tie in the beams. So the backside of the forms will be pretty complicated because it'll be open where you can actually pour the beam through. And I made a path, I can get the mini excavator down there, that once we actually start setting the first set of form boards, we'll be able to come behind it, excavate out. And then we'll actually build forms that are open that tie into this. If I actually have my pen with me, I do. So when we do these over here, so on the back side, the forms will look like this, which is a lot of work, right? Mm-hmm. So we'll build the forms like that, and then the 4 foot wide, the form will look like that. And so we'll have the steel that when we build this will be 4.5 feet between the two. The steel, I bought the elbows, it'll actually kind of come in like that as we form it up. And then when we break down the form boards, we'll be able to come in and put the French drain behind it. And so we'll have to put some sleeves under these beams right here. But so what we're effectively doing is continuing this beam through, and then we build the next portion of the pool on top of it, on top of the keel. We'll be able to tie into those beams and continue them back as we go back. But these beams get pretty deep. These beams would be probably 10 foot deep, but we're going all the way down the subgrade. So the beams will probably stop right here at this first intersection, and then we will be able to continue the beam on top and run the beam back once we build the top portion of the pool. Like I said, I'll be out here with you guys a lot. I'm throwing a lot of information at you. But like most important thing today is we'll start setting string lines and getting the batter boards built up, ready to go. And then I'll be running the mini excavator, and we'll get going on that.
Yeah, let's do that one step at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my thing is how do you eat an elephant?
One bite.
One bite at a time. This is definitely an elephant.
It's a huge elephant.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
how
it
we
is.
just make it think.
Yeah.
One step at a time.
So here's the rest of the foundation. Like I said, lots of details, and we'll follow the structural engineer to the T on this foundation portion and the retaining walls. And then we also have the top portion and all the different little designs they did for us. So is there any questions?
Oh, just where do you start pulling the string from here? You said.
I know. You're like ready to go?
Where's our grate?
Say it again?
Our grate for that string line.
Well, we're gonna measure it once we get on it.
Okay.
The grade. So we'll tie it in here, right?
Okay.
We'll run it down to that string line.
Yeah.
And I'll set the grades right here with you guys.
Okay.
You know, it's like I said, it's a little bit of variable because I just know that right here, this, or you've got it tied in, this is going to be the height of the foundation.
Okay.
And so we're going to tie it in. The retaining wall, this portion will be about the same height, and we're just going to kind of bring it kind of flat over. And then when we get to a point, we're going to transition it down at an angle.
Okay.
Just whatever feels comfortable. But like I said, work in progress over the next week.
Alrighty.
Yeah. Does that sound good? Mm-hmm. All right. Oh, you probably want to see the pool pictures, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looked overwhelming at first. Just we got all this steel frames and all this machinery down there, and in the beginning we wore this road out pretty good, but it was like, hey, you know what? And we just started doing it one step at a time. Next thing you know, it's all coming together. So don't get overwhelmed. It's just sort of, we will just be taking it one little bite at a time.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think we ought to. We'll take that board down.
Yeah, I have to brace that up.
We'll take that board down, and then so if you guys want to, let's get our tools out.
Yeah.
We'll cut some boards, and we'll set all the way down at the next property pin, and we'll drive in. I don't even know what they call these. I don't know, a strong back. I don't know what to call it, but we'll set one up down there. We'll shore this one up, and we'll get a string line. And that's the other thing is, as far as setting it, we're going to set. It's a 12-inch thick gunite wall is the plan. We'll set 8 inches on this property line and 4 inches that way because they're going to do a rock masonry coat, which will be 6 inches. So we're going to share it right down the middle. That hill's going to make you strong, dude.
Yeah. I'm used to climbing hills.
Yeah. So this is.
Up and down.
So you guys see this right here? I think it's about as bright as it can go right now. But this is what we're building on the back side here.
Okay.
So to show a visual, so we're rebuilding all this. So this section, which is a really crummy visual, but we're building this little section first here, and then the retaining wall.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you're building the trough first.
Yeah, we're building the trough first, and then we're going to build backwards. So we're going to build that, and then we're building the foundation that the pool sits on, and then we build on top of the top. Each stair step back is each level. So the trough, the pool, the house foundation.
And that's where you start carving out right down below where you said you dig 6
Bingo.
feet?
Yeah.
Okay.
So based on this size here, it was from that property corner there. We are 20.
Can we walk over there?
Yeah, let's go over there. Yeah. So I was just thinking.
Take them down.
So what I was thinking is you stand in here, right?
Right.
So there's going to be a set of steel cage right here.
Okay.
So we're building the steel cage on top of it. So the batter board is going to sit on top of the steel, effectively.
Okay.
And then we'll just put the boards back, drive the stakes in. We have to leave enough room to get the bobcat
So right
through
now
here.
we're just building just to.
Yeah, so right where the string line is actually a little low. We're actually going to probably lift it up a little bit to get the right height. But 8-foot tall here, so 4x8s. We're just gonna be stacking them down the hill this way.
Just
just
for the time being.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we'll stack them, and then we might want to do the steel first. We'll see how you want to do it.
Well, once you, it's probably better to do the steel first.
Yeah, do the steel, set the boards on top. That might be the first thing we start tying. But I'll get it all dug out right now.
Okay.
That way it's out of your way. Y'all start working on that,
Yeah.
batter boards, and then we'll tie them back, and then yeah, I
Okay.
think that's a good plan to start with. And so that string line, of course, is going to be right in my way. So
Yes, sir. I'm just.
I know. You're just getting ready. I haven't driven one of these in a few months, so you got to give me a sec to figure it out what I'm doing here. The unsexy part, picking up rocks.
What are these for?
This is for the dock. It's basically going to be this built just like that one. So this angle iron is basically like it's a cup. We put a corrugated tin on the bottom of it, or yeah, sit it in there, and then we pour concrete on top of that. So
As it's in the water.
right. Well, it's we drive these posts in first. So the first thing we do is float them out there on the floats, and then we use the boat cranks to crank it up and level it out. And once it's level, we just run a weld around the post, and then yep, it's good.
So what we're going to do is we're going to take on the first one, we'll cut some 2x12s, or well, 2x4x12s. And they're going to be, it's going to be like a grid, right? Yeah. And then we'll go ahead and cross them on top, right, like this. And we'll do something like that on the bottom. And we'll go ahead and put a couple of cross braces on them. Right? That makes it so it doesn't shift. And then on the top here, so remember this is 3D structure, so we can do it a 4x8 type thing. My penmanship, my art is not that great, right?
Yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah, but we'll make this a 4x8. We'll set that plywood on it, and we'll put a couple of braces in there like that.
Yeah.
And so we'll make the first one 12 feet tall, and this is 8 feet wide. And also we'll brace it like that, brace it like this. And so four of us will be able to pick them up and move it. So that'll be our scaffolding. And so that one's 12 foot tall. We'll make another one 10 foot. And we'll do another one that's 8 foot. What do y'all think? So we'll have a box and a box, and then if we want, you know, what we'll do is we'll put a stake in the ground right here, back here, Chris, and then we'll run a brace there and a brace there, and that'll hold it up.
When we build it, we'll build it from the ground up, and then we'll just level it. We'll level it across the top.
Yeah, Robert. So what we talked about doing, I think this will be the easiest, is we'll do we'll make some scaffolding out of the 2x4s.
Okay.
So this one will do 12 feet tall, and it'll be 2x4x12s. We'll brace them back, and we'll do some 8 foot. We'll do some 4x8 plywood on top. Effectively, all this is a batter board upside down, and then we can nail these in, put some braces back and cross braces like that. And like Chris was saying, we want to make it level. So whatever we got to do to level it. And then if we need to, we can always, once we get the work done right here, we can move it over. But I'll say, why don't we make 2 or 3 of them? We make one 10 foot, one 8 foot, and we'll just kind of shift them over as we need it. But that way we can do half at a time, I think.
Yeah.
And I think that put it up nice against the wall. And then on the back side, we can work rebar, and we can set the batter boards up top here like this, while you guys are on the back working on it like that. So you can set the batter boards on one side. This will also be safety, so some guy doesn't fall, and this will help protect you guys from falling off the edge. But you can also, once we get this thing up, we can also drop the rebar back behind it and work it like that. And then you can tie the rebar into the wall here with the L's. Once you tie it all in, it'll be nice and stable. You can drive some stakes in the ground where you want it, and that's we'll kind of build it all along here like that. Sound like a good plan?
Yeah.
We only got to do 2 of them.
Oh yeah.
Got 2 of them will get us down.
I think this is a good grade line, but I think it needs to come up a little bit.
Okay. So,
Yeah, I think if we brought it up maybe 2 feet over there, and I think that's perfect. So pretty much where that 2x4 is, we can take the top of that, the string line.
okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to lower this one?
Well, exactly. So now, I guess we ought to make this straight and level. We'll level it up straight.
Okay.
And there, that gives it a nice grade. So you still have the finished floor foundation. And what'll happen is you have a sheet away from the house.
Yeah.
And then we'll curb it up and shed the water. More. Hold on. One more, right there.
Right there.
Got the best guys on it.
Our most experienced nail hammer guys.
Snap it.
This can be tight.
That string is legit, man.
Oh yeah.
All right, the double checker.
I'd say that's pretty good. Yeah, I like it. Okay. Cool. All done. So here's the porch right here. So right here there's going to be a rail that comes along the edge because as you see it's going to drop off really fast.
Yeah.
But right here at 4 or 5 feet, I wanted to be at grade level, so like ADA accessible, so we can have if you're ever elderly and you want to step in here, you want to walk in here nice and easy.
Oh, okay.
So this little thing will be flush. So this is 15.2 to the corner, and then we have, remember it was like 9 feet. So 9, 15, it's 24 feet. 24. So 24 feet from where that string line is. But remember the string line is 2 feet beyond where the pool starts. So it's 24 and a half, so it's about 22 and a half, but minus 5. 22 and a half minus 5, about 18 feet. All right?
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yep. 18, 17 feet. So, so 17 feet back, we want this to be over here getting pretty level. So the balcony is actually going to overhang the pool by 1 foot.
Okay.
Okay. So that 9.1 feet, so you measure it back, and so you look at this little measurement, it's 6.2 feet from there to there, and that's where you got the little seat. So the keel, the Dan key that we're putting in, okay, it technically stops there. I'm just going to continue it on back
No.
until we
Okay.
get
Makes sense.
as far
Yeah.
back as we can go, and then we can tie it into the house foundation.
Perfect.
And then as we do the key here, we're going to put the next wall. So and then you also think about the stair steps, how the stair steps down. So when you look at the plans, this is a minimum of 4.6 feet down, and then you got a 7-foot drop for the vanishing edge, and then that vanishing edge is about 6 inches underneath the deck of the house, and then you got a 3-inch drop from the pool deck to the house because you want water to shed away from the house, right?
Yep.
So you have to do all these little measurements. So we actually started measuring up top on the front door entry, and it stair steps down off that string line to the basement level,
Okay.
to the patio level,
Makes sense.
to the water level, to the foundation, to the key level, down to the ground level. So there's actually 6 stair steps as it tiers up and down. It's pretty cool. So that's how we're measuring it back. So we do the string lines, we got that corner set, and now what we're going to do, because I don't know this radius, because the radius it was drawn poorly, because it's just some arbitrary point out in space. Like, how do we actually measure where the center of the radius is? So what we're going to do is we're going to get this measurement here. We're going to get this measurement approximately right here, which is actually drawn out here, which is actually 21 feet from the corner of that pool. We're going to get 2 string lines. One guy's going to be on that end, and one guy's going to be on that end. Where the string lines come together at the equal distance,
That's where
that'll be our center point, and then we'll draw an arc around to make that pool arc.
Perfect.
And we'll spray it like that. And then that's where we dig the arc out, and that's where the 4-foot keel comes in, and we'll build that around.
Gotcha. Okay. Makes it easier.
Right. Mm-hmm. That's good.
It'll work.
Yeah,
A little sticking out.
that's perfect. Yeah. So when we wrap up the wall to it, and the wall comes up, it'll be tied right into it.
It's just my pre-setup right here.
No, that's good. Yeah, we'll like put it on some bricks or rocks or whatever.
Yeah, well, usually they put. Is this gonna be inspected?
No,
Oh, okay. Usually they have chairs.
it's inspected by me.
Well, usually they have chairs. They put the chairs in there.
Yeah.
But no, we'll just put rocks.
Yeah, we can step some rocks on it and get it off the ground. And then, like I said, about 6 inches in between the next cage, and then we'll turn it up with the angle iron, with the elbows. And we'll do the same thing vertical. And then we'll put the batter boards behind it, and then it'll spray from this direction. Perfect. Anything you guys want to knock down the hill or over the edge, go ahead, because I'm gonna get the machine down there, and then I'm gonna clean out the bottom.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you. And about 20 minutes, we got lunch coming. Oh, yeah, break time. The footer is what acts to keep the wall from sliding out. So the wall at this corner is going to be 16 feet tall, double cage, 5 rebar, and about 1 foot thick. And you can see where we got the material on top is real soft, sandy. It's like tillage from the hill. Underneath it, we get the solid rock, and we kind of scrape that out. So that's the solid material. But you can see in the very corner, there is a whole bunch of water that's coming from the last rain, and that water just comes down the hill. And when we build this wall, we're going to put a bunch of weep holes to make sure we get the water out, because the hydrostatic pressure of the water pushing on the wall is an enormous amount of force to push that wall out. So this wall is going to be like double reinforced. So on the bottom, we're going to have a 5 foot, maybe 4 foot, kind of like a bedding and a base. And then the wall will go up, and then on the back side of the wall, we're going to have what they call a dead man, or we're going to have another 10-foot wall holding it back. That all the material that'll sit on top of it, about 6 to 10 feet deep, that'll hold the wall up. So from 2 directions, from the bottom and from the top, the wall will be supported. So this thing is it's going to be made with gunite, which is 5,000 psi, effectively just a cement mixture, and it's going to be extremely strong. So it should last forever. And then once it's all done, the owners will come along and put a 5 foot or 5 inch, I should say, limestone face on it, and they'll rock it up. So it'll be gunite cement behind it, but it'll look gorgeous because it'll be covered with rock.
So this is going to be 16 feet high.
Yeah, right there in the corner, the high point will be 16. You see what string line is?
Yeah.
It'll be a little bit higher than that. So it'll be about 16 feet from there to there. And then it'll kind of get down here, maybe down to 12 feet. But we wanted to make this out of concrete, but because it's so tall and how much form work we're going to have to do and the amount of labor to build that wall out of wood and to fill it full of concrete, the gunite was a stronger and a more cost-effective option on this particular job. We dug a trench right through here. What we're doing is we're putting in a little bit of a retaining wall to hold back the road since the soil is so soft. And so we trenched over from the main retaining wall, and it's gonna kind of arc around and it'll tie into the driveway here. So the main driveway that we're go down to the lake starts right down at the bottom and come right up this path and then arc on over to our new retaining wall and then cut on up. That's the big plan. We had a lot of cave-in from the rain last week, and so I can't get the machine in there now, so we're gonna have the guys hand dig it, which is gonna be a lot of work. So we'll go a month without rain, and then we'll get 2 or 3 inches at a time. So we're technically right on the edge of desert type. I guess was it not fauna, but yeah, it's like we get like 32 inches of rain out here a year, but it seems like we get it all about 4 or 5 major rain deluges every year. It's about 10 degrees colder up here than San Antonio or Austin because we're up a little bit higher elevation, and it just because there's not any city heating as well, and so we get those freezes. So it's always 5 to 10 degrees colder up in the hill country. So, and they'll be the first ones to get snow, and which we have maybe once a year, maybe twice. Our last year we had the big freeze where we had 5 days of below freezing temperatures. And yeah, it seems like we had, it was frozen for 5 days, and we had, I think it was almost 8 inches of snow, which is unbelievable for Texas. Last time that happened was like back in '86, where we had 13 inches of snow. They're putting the batter boards up so that when we spray the gunite, it's got something to shoot against. It doesn't have to be very strong, but just to hold the gunite back. And at the bottom where there's gaps, we'll put a little pegboard to seal it up. But we're going to run the batter boards pretty much along the string line on the way down. And then the bottom of the, I don't want to call it a cliff, but at the bottom of the drop-off, they're building the scaffolding so they have something to stand on where they can put the rebar up, and it also kind of acts as a safety deal so the guys aren't standing right near the edge, so we can kind of do a platform while we're putting everything together. But right here at where the steps joint, with that little concrete platform, the batter boards are going to flip. And because they'll spray gunite from this side, and then they'll spray from the other side to get the retaining wall down the hill. But it's a lot of work, but it's quite a bit less work than actually forming it up for a retaining wall. So the gunite will go up quite a bit faster, and I think in the end it'll be stronger when we're all done. How you doing, Mike?
Coming through.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And I'm going to repair the conduit first, and then we're going to set the conduit over and bury the conduit so we get the big machinery back and forth. Because when we actually spray the gunite, we're going to have that road cleared up and ready to go, because we're going to have to move the big high forklift so the folks that spray the gunite can actually stand on the forklift and and use the basket we built to actually spray it, because at 17 feet tall, they can't spray the gunite that tall, so we have to get that road prepared. That's what I'm doing next, because once I put the main beam in for the foundation, we won't be this road will be impassable, so we have to get all that done first.
On this side, so we can lay that other frame out easier with the poles not in the way. Yeah. Are you going to be able to swing it over?
I'm kind of like George Strait. All my exes live in Texas.
That's it.
I have a feeling Mike's gonna be YouTube famous one of these days.
I know he is.
You got to see Garth Brooks if you want to see somebody put on a show. George sings.
Yeah.
He just stands up there and sings all the songs, but Brooks,
He gets
he's
after
a
it.
showman. You know, he's a
Cutting the
fanatic.
carpet.
Just as soon as Mike grows a beard, then you're going to be YouTube famous.
Oh yeah, you gotta get the beard thing.
You got to have a big beard. It's got to be about.
I have a horrible
Mid-chest.
beard. It's bad. I have pictures when I was younger,
Yeah.
and I looked young, and I was trying to grow a mustache and beard, and I thought, man, I was such a fool. I look like an idiot.
You got little
You know, old craggly ass, look like pubic hairs growing on my lip.
I
you
wish
know?
I could do that.
Yeah, so this is so it was going to be just like a three-car garage. Well, see, the way the topography is, right? Most houses have connected garages, right? Well, instead of having, you can't connect it on this property. So what they did was put that, and they want the house on the backside for the view, right? So house on the backside with view, and they're going to connect. I don't know if you can see it there with that pink string line. There's going to be a bridge and a walkway, and it's going to connect to the main house, and that's what that door's up there for. So when you build something, the cost is in the foundation and the bottom structure. To go second floor, you're really at about a 30%, maybe 25% cost. And so, but you're adding on this specific structure, adding on 1,700 square feet more to the livable space. So if you would have just built the garage, well, that's that's a pretty big expense. But extra 1,700 square feet and then when the owners sell this place, that's going to be at several $100s per square foot. That's going to be quite a nice investment. So once again, not necessary, but just a nice add-on.
Bring another piece of plywood. We cut the triangle out right here, and then we just put a bottom frame right here to right here, and nail that down right here, and maybe like 1 or 2 stakes right in the middle, like how we did that. That would be good, because we have to measure twice and cut once. And then we'll just fill it underneath with the dirt, whatever hole it left open. Yeah. And that will act as another backing too. So. Sounds good to me. Cause that would be the best bet instead of putting it on that fucking edge right there, cause that form will just fall off. So we do it in that concrete piece as well, cause we gotta fucking go that way with it, with the whole form.
So now you see we got the dead man laying there on the ground, and that's going to give it. So we put the dirt on top. That won't allow the wall to tilt out. It'll resist that, and also to slide out. But right here, when we do the next section of the wall, we'll have the rebar stick out further so we can keep the wall going. Mm-hmm. And that's probably a little high. I mean, it's great for the foundation, but we may bring it down a little bit as we get going down that way a little bit. But that's okay. So we'll leave the rebar stick out. We'll transition it down. And as the rebar sticks out there, what we're going to do is we're going to tie in. This is a perfect set right here. So as you see, what we'll do is we'll put a batter board this way eventually, and it doesn't have to be any sort of shape. It can be just a 4x4 type thing. And when they spray it, they'll with the gunite, we'll put it down with the steel at an angle down to this rebar. It'll be here eventually, and that way you have a structural support holding from the ground all the way up to the top. So the top won't want to rotate either.
So do you still want more steel coming this way?
Yep.
Okay, that's.
So another.
Okay.
So yeah, just
All right.
every foot that you can fit.
So I'll just follow this pattern.
Yeah. Perfect.
Up to
Right there.
maybe
Perfect. Right where you've got it drilled. Yeah. Nice.
right there,
That's it.
and then okay.
Nice. Yeah. Because what I don't want is because the house foundation
Yeah.
sits right where your boot is,
Okay.
right where the 62 is,
Yeah.
and I want the two to be separate. I don't want the retaining wall tied into the house
Right.
because if the wall shifts, I don't want the house to shift.
Now, is that then you're gonna stick it out 9 feet from
Yeah.
here? Or from,
Yeah.
Where'd you
So-
go down foot from?
Well, it's just rough estimate. So right there where
Okay,
that 62 is,
Okay.
that pin,
Yeah.
it's 10.2 feet to the
Okay.
property line.
I see. So these would be laid
Yeah.
out.
So I was just saying between 9 and 10 feet, cut the steel, and that steel will tie into the retaining wall there, and that's where you put your elbows and you tie it in on that side, and the steel cage will go on up.
Okay, so
Cool.
all right, guys.
Awareness. So right there where the adjoining property owner's patio was, it was actually over 3 feet. We had to trim it back. So that's what those guys are working on. Is right there where the patio is we're putting a retaining wall from that corner all the way down to right about here. So we're making a hard right turn, and then we're going to follow the topo lines, tie it into the driveway down here, which will be existing. So effectively, we're moving the driveway over about 10-15 feet from the existing location. And so then the pool beam that I've been talking about, the pool's not drawn to scale under here obviously, but it'll tie around and it kind of rolls back into the foundation like that. So those are the two projects we're working on right now to start with, which is all downhill, and then we work our way back up.
It's massive.
Yeah, the guys are having a hard time visually, spatially, like, what are we doing? Because I'm like, well, yeah, it's like, look, I mean, I know we're working in 2D, but we're also working in 3-dimensional now with all the different levels and layers. So it's definitely challenging. It's fun. And so Georgetown's got the largest limestone quarry, actually it might be in the world. And they ship all this limestone via rail down to the ports in Texas, and it ships all over the world. Like this. I mean, I was even hearing stories about crushed limestone going to Saudi Arabia, and I was like, oh wow, yeah, we have some of the best limestone in Texas. So this limestone was, I think it was like 130 million year old limestone, and we use it here because it's such a great building material. It's relatively durable. It's easy to cut, and it looks pretty.
Was this extra from the garage?
Yep, it's left over. Yep. And so we're going to use the same stone on the main house. And so when I was ordering it, I was like, well, we have a little extra, it's no big deal. And so I just got it. When you order the stuff, there was like a $900 shipping fee, and so you might as well get the extra stone on this one semi truck. So I took 2 semi trucks loads of stone, and that way we'll just move it and use it for the main house. It's all coming from the same quarry, so we should get the same color match. And that was the flat stone on it. It's called honed architectural stone, and that's something new that we've been using. It's actually the same material. It's the exact same limestone. It's just polished. I mean, it looks awesome. And then the braces, we made them out of steel. A lot of builders making them out of wood, and I don't like how the wood, because like you see, the stucco will be around the wood, and that to me looks like a point of where it could rot, where water could penetrate and then rot the wood. And in a couple of years, they'll look terrible. And these things are made out of steel, and Justin, our welder, took care of all that and made them look really beautiful. And they were pretty easy to make, and then we installed them, and they'll be really durable for a long time. But they're just architectural. They don't actually do. They're not supporting the roof structure at all.
I love the lights and the wood up there. It looks
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. So at nighttime, we're gonna have the lights will turn on, obviously, and there's going to be a smart switch down below that it'll be able to turn all the lights on. So remotely via Wi-Fi, your internet connection, you'll be able to turn on the security lighting around the house. But it'll be a nice light, kind of a low lighting setting, so it'll light up the entire house and give it kind of a nice curb appeal at night, which will be great. I've had some experience where you put the lighting in the ground, like landscape lighting, that shines up on the house. Well, that has problems with moisture penetration into the lights, into the fixture, and then they short out. Then you replace some bulbs, and it's always a maintenance hassle. Putting them in the eaves, and with these long-lasting LEDs that could last 20,000 or more hours, you should be able to put the bulbs in there and not worry about them for a decade.
Yeah, it's pretty high.
Actually, a telescoping pole works really good.
Oh.
You know, in this build, oh my gosh, it was slow. We had so many problems. But obviously, when you can control the timing of it, things look like it's flowing. But man, we got the foundation took months, to get just done. The excavation took forever, and then we got that done. And the concrete dude finally came out, and then he did the retaining wall. Took him months, and then the framers quit midway. The framers ended up. We got halfway through, and the framing crew said, "Oh, we're done." Like, what? I hadn't paid them for the second portion of it. I paid them to do the garage portion. But the above, they just kind of like, they didn't get to it. We don't feel like it. I don't know. I guess they got some money and they left. Yeah, but then the windows, they took 4 months to get in, and that was a long wait, a lead time to plan for the windows. And then because we couldn't do the stucco, because we typically you almost always do the stucco first before you do the rock, because all the droppings from the masonry products, all the mud and stuff coming down. So we're gonna have the plastic cover the rock, and but because of the timing of the windows took an extra 2 months, and we went ahead and did the rock because the rock masons were available. And hopefully, when the stucco starts on Monday, we'll get all that done. And but we're going to cover up and protect the rock. The work that's already done, and so that's a little bit extra work. So a little bit inefficient in the building process, but it's just what you have to do to get the trades when they're available, and also wait on the windows. That was the big holdup. There's so many details, and you always telling them you always have to be a week ahead, And then in this construction environment, you have to be months ahead, like windows 4 months. Garage doors are taking 4 to 6 months on back order right now. Interior doors, they're 2 to 3 months out. Like I just contacted the AC installation crew, and they can't get ductwork for the AC. They're telling 9 weeks out for ductwork install. So yeah, it's just everything is taking enormous amount of time beyond.
Is there anything that you could get sooner, but you can't get it because you need something else that's taking longer?
Well, it becomes storage problems. So, like, I need to order the doors, and for this house, my goal was as soon as I started on the foundation, I was going to order the windows because it's a 4 month lead. So that's what I'm probably going to be doing next week. But let's just say the windows come in early, and now I've got to store. Well, luckily, I have a garage on this project, but I'll be able to, I have to store a whole bunch of glass windows in the garage, and it could be for a month or two while we're finishing up the foundation and then get the framing crew out. The same thing with the doors. You almost have to have a storage unit just to be ready to handle all the materials coming on. Because, before COVID, you could order materials and within a couple of weeks, and you're generally going to get them in a timely fashion and be ready to use them. Now we're at a situation where you're at the whim of when you get the materials, just when they have availability, and because you have budgets and you don't want to pay too much. I mean, just for example, I was looking for electrical boxes for for two-way switches, and I had a two plug, and they were sold out everywhere in San Antonio. They were sold out everywhere online, and they typically go for 95 cents or so for an electrical box. Well, I found them online at Amazon for a little price gouging for it was $14 each. So it's like, well, I'm not buying those, but you have to come up with a solution because you need a two switch. So it's I mean, how do you plan? You don't budget for that stuff. And same with same with the lumber. Lumber spikes goes up from $400 per linear board foot to $1,500 per linear board foot for 1,000 board feet, I should say. And how do you plan for that? So you have to be way ahead and put clauses in your contracts. So you got to be ready.
sketchy part, man, with this hill being all muddy right now. But yeah, we'll have to put the strap on better. We'll loop it. So you want to hold the brackets?
Mhm.
Okay. You space them wherever you want to space them. We'll get one like right here on this corner.
Yeah.
And then we'll do like in between every hole. If that. I don't even know if we need that many. Yeah, we're gonna get another frame up today.
To the edge like this? How are you gonna do it?
Just, yeah, overlap them a little bit. Yeah, half
Okay.
and half.
All right.
Can you cut my ground or the frame? That way a little bit, or we'll stick it out.
Yeah, go ahead and lift it.
it's 1,720 square feet down here in the bottom. This is 12 foot tall, and that's 10 foot tall. Upstairs is 9 foot tall. And you can see we had the fire code, the 5/8 rock on the ceiling. And then on the walls is just 1/2 inch sheetrock. Okay. And then and this would be a fire code wall as well, 5/8 here and under the steps. And then up here, so we already got all the sheetrock up here. And then the mud, and the tape. And so they started, and we're gonna screw them all down.
Yeah, we did it wrong.
See what?
We started wrong. We sprayed the ceiling.
Yeah, you did the ceiling first, right?
Yes, sir.
So yeah,
Can you tell me so how much square feet you have for
it's 1,720 feet. So the total is 3,540, and the height is 12, 10, and 9. So that is the average height is
So how much is for total square feet?
3,540. Then 9. Let's go with 11. Average is 11 downstairs, 11 feet, and 9 feet.
Okay. Can you give me the phone number and I can?
Yeah, it's and the texture is kind of like a medium texture.
Okay. Monterey.
Monterey, yeah, that's perfect.
So what's your name?
My name's Doug. D-O-U-G. You? Yeah, it's okay. I'm with Schoen Custom Homes.
Okay, quiet.
Cool. Oh, nice.
My phone number.
What's your name? You know?
Jorge.
Jorge? Cool. Yeah, nice. Jorge. And do you work for yourself or do you work for
For myself.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Nice.
So you need a price for drywall, type of and texture, and paint, or
And paint too. I mean, separated.
yeah, separate.
Yeah, separato. But
so you put a new cabinets already painted, or you need to paint in the cabinet?
oh, the cabinets. That's right. I need them painted. It's just a clear coat. It's going to be alder wood.
Okay.
Same with the doors and the trim. It's all alder,
Okay.
and it's going to be real nice, but just be clear coat. And so we have like 11 doors. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay, so I want to.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. What do you think is good first?
I don't want to jump the gun.
No, man.
Cupcake on the way over here.
Yeah, I'll bring a few more.
Alright.
Okay. Yeah.
You don't top them. Oh. Is that what nailed in? Are we going to push this in?
You good right there?
All right, hold on.
Right there, I marked it. Top and bottom.
Okay, go sir.
Get the mic.
What you think that was?
Can you get that.
What I'm trying to figure out is how to build. This is actually going to end up being a wine room.
I just brought
And so I'm trying to build around that, and that'll be an exposed rock face in the wine room. And so it's going to be complete, surrounded by concrete with a concrete lid, and it'll be cold because of all the concrete and the temperature. But I have to watch for the drainage coming through, so we have to design the drainage underneath it. But when it's all said and done, that would be like, wine area, wine bottles and stuff, and that would be like an exposed backdrop. So with natural rock, which is kind of cool.
That's pretty sharp.
If we can pull it off.
What's up, Michael?
Hey, what's going on?
Same old stuff, different day. You doing all right?
Yeah, everything's good.
Let's just do the routine that you did.
Going, guys. You know it's a good day when Justin's sweating already.
Yeah, I know, right?
He ain't liking it.
Yeah.
He's like, what's this work crap?
Yeah. I actually have to pick something up.
Put your foot under that way. That's your finger. There you go, sir.
Yeah.
Now you move.
Okay, that's good enough. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't hold it.
So we have an engineering joke, Justin. It's called measure it with a micrometer and cut it with a bulldozer.
Oh, there you go.
So engineers are like down to the 10th of an inch,
Yeah, and then we're like,
and then we're like, can we get it within a quarter?
yeah.
Looks like. Bring my pen.
So that's 39
Calculate it out.
feet.
Yeah. And remember, I said what we're going to do is it's because we over excavated.
Yeah, we're just gonna go straight.
We're going to
here.
bring it straight across, and that's going to add on to this room 12 by almost 7 more feet. So now instead of having like a storage room, you can actually the property owner's looking at is it could actually be a media room. So it's going to be completely enclosed, down dark room, and this is a great place to put
movie theater.
the movie theater
Yeah,
because it's exactly the right size.
Yeah.
It's going to be a total depth of 17 feet, and it's going to be 14 feet wide. So this is going to be one heck of a movie room. And it's completely dark with no windows because it's in the basement.
Ah, yeah, definitely need that.
All right, so let's do a little adding here.
When this is done, we gotta do a cribs episode.
Oh, dude, well,
Oh yeah.
well, that's the final. That's the final episode. Is
Yeah.
is going to be the walkthrough, right? Like, well, there won't be any furniture in it, but it'll be like the handover moment. Like, here it is, it's
we'll
done.
Get it staged, everything.
Oh, and then we'll stage it.
That was, yeah.
Well, we'll need sponsors for that,
We'll have them. We'll be set.
dude. Once we start going viral on this stuff,
I know Michael's gonna handle it.
that's right. It is. And so when you're looking out, you're going to get the illusion that the water line of the pool is diving into the water. So you're going to see nothing. You're going to see
Yeah,
water
nothing
and
but
water.
water.
So the vanishing edge waterfall will be right there. So see how it arcs right there? See the opening in the trees?
Yeah.
The arc will come right around, and you're just going to see water on the edge of that vanishing edge.
Ah, sweet.
That was the kind of the design
That's-
of it.
yeah,
the
that's
thought
nice.
process.
So you're going 3 feet
Yeah.
and then another 15, and that's
Yeah,
where it's
that's
gonna
about
be.
the pool line, approximately. I think we have less participants. Drive them in there. And that'll get that going, and then we'll run another one from there. I'll go get a 16-footer. Kyle, go grab a 16-footer, please. Off that pile. Grab 2 of them while you're at it.
I'm gonna get down there with for sure.
Because this is the perfect point for it to be really strong. And then what we'll do is we'll start the other one over here, and then we can tie it up together. You know, we can cross it and nail it in. But that way, this is good and strong.
Now this has to be covered all the way down, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna cover. I'm gonna have another piece add.
Well, you gotta lay your rebar out, right? Because it's gonna sit on top of it, and you're just gonna set the box on top of the batter board and just brace it up, just like we did these, with just no stakes.
So I guess we need to just start working on rebar.
I feel like, if we should start working on the rebar on this wall, and then we'll work our way.
But that's what he really wants. He wants the steel ties. That's what he really wants.
And it's going all the way to the end of that string line right there at the wall, right?
So I think what we should do is just continue tying.
Now we're going to that curve.
Yeah, it's going all the way into that curve. It's gonna curve in
See
there.
the end of the scaffolding?
Yeah,
Takes a curve right there.
So it ends right there?
No,
Yeah, it curves around.
curves and
Oh,
goes
curves.
that
Then
way.
that's when we'll put pegboard and that real thin plywood
Okay.
and make the curve. So this batter board goes right down there past that plant, and then we curve it around. So we just have to build up. Now when we get out there over the edge, you know where the trench is, we'll have to drive those batter boards in with stake.
Yeah.
But along here, we'll just run till we get down there to the tower.
Yeah, but
We'll just run our
level that's
batter board. We had 2 houses, one here and one in Midland. And we drug everything out on the lawn and sold every stick of furniture we had in both houses. Put one up for rent, put one up for lease, and moved to Mexico in suitcases. Totally unencumbered, totally free. And it was one of those eureka moments, you know, when you figure out that, wow, you know, life is not about collecting stuff. It's about shedding stuff that burden you down.
Tape measure.
Happened was that he put us together. All right, he started out with Boone, then he picked up Justin, then he picked up me, and then we were having the subs do the, you know, like the framework, and we had masonries doing the rock work, but we were doing all the in between, like some of the finishing stuff, like we put up this cement board and put up the beams, and then we started hauling all the rock out and got it to this point, and then we couldn't get cementers, couldn't get the cement contractors. It's a heck of a job, plus they're real busy, and so it's just like, hey, let's just build our own company. And he had the plans of being, you know, going back into full-time commercial custom building, and then now we just added the component of having our own cement crew. And so now all of a sudden we're branching out, we're becoming in more of a supervisory role and having them do things that we were doing as we build this up. So February we'll have our first custom home, and then we plan on building six homes in 2022, 12 in 2024, 3. So it's gonna be a fun run. It's the start of something. And the way he's building it, he's really not guaranteeing success, but he's setting it up to optimize its success by going in and spending a lot of upfront money for marketing and what we're doing here. And he's using this as a show home, a model home for what we can do, because this is about as hard a build as you'll ever do. So we pull this off, we can do anything.
This nail right here is actually the bottom. Yeah, this right here is, I'll have to remeasure it, but this is the bottom of the base of the pool. It's the very first trough where the waterfall goes over. It'll be the catch basin right there. So this is the catch basin height. And it starts at pretty much that pin right through here. We'll move this. But right here, the beam 4 feet wide, it comes right through here. At this height, we'll pour it, and we'll wrap all the way around. So at this point right here, when it's making an arc, it arcs around. So I'm looking the height. This is about height right here. Yeah, as the beam comes around, the wall will be about 8 feet tall, okay, when we pour it. But we're gonna dig it right through here, another 4 feet deep, probably. So it's another massive beam of concrete that just comes all the way around that's gonna tie into the house. This material is actually really good. It's crushed granite, and sand and granite, and when it gets wet and compact, it gets rock hard. So what I was thinking about doing is doing a commercial grade driveway. So I was gonna use 5-inch concrete with at least number 3 rebar. I might use 4 just because it doesn't cost that much more. But along here, we have.
It's gonna be grooved.
Yep, there's a special rake that I think every half inch, every 3/4 inch, you could put grooves on it, so it won't be slippery. It's real good in texture, but yeah, like I can drive a 2-wheel drive truck up and down this dirt. Pretty. I mean, you can't stop. You got to go. But a regular skid steer can't make it with the tires. It just spins. I have to get the tracks right now. That's why everything we have up and down this hill is tracked. We've got to get this retaining wall in, get the road done and compact, and get the foundation in, and that's when we'll be able to get the big lift back up the hill. The lift is 30,000 pounds, so I'm designing this retaining wall so that it'll hold.
Yeah, I was wondering how that thing.
That's how we're going to get it in and out.
Here. That's a big machine, heavy machine.
Yeah, it is. It is, and we'll be able. It'll be a nice swooping turn, but I got to let that retaining wall cure for 28 days to get the full strength and compact it all in, and then we'll be able to drive right on it.
And make sure that rail on the side is high enough you can see over your hood.
Yeah, no doubt. We'll be able to do it.
Okay.
So we got to hit the 19th, right, for the gunite spray, and so the gunite's got to get done all along here, right, and the back wall. Right. That's the important spray. Right. If we have to, this section right along here, we can fill it with concrete.
Okay.
I mean, so because if we run out of time, we'll hit that, and I'm going to schedule every 2 weeks. I'm going to schedule concrete, and so we'll hit this up with concrete. And so if we can't get this done, this section along the retaining wall here, it's probably a lot cheaper to do with concrete, honestly. Mm-hmm. Just fill it full of concrete, and then we can fill this full of concrete. When we have the pump truck out here, we can knock both these out. Yeah. So we definitely get this for the gunite, because it has to be done that way, and we'll be good. So we might want to just stop our efforts right there.
Yeah, we'll stop it too.
And then we keep focusing on this, and then if we have more time, we can keep on.
Okay.
But don't really need, this is, and then it goes up 3.5 feet for the basin. But this is where we pour this next level, and this thing doesn't need to be any higher than this, really much higher than this at all. So when we lift that string line up, we kind of need to think about that and tie that back in.
Where'd you want it right there?
Well, I got to get the exact measurement, but just
for rough.
Yeah, but just roughly, it's roughly right there. And that's the bottom of the basin, and then you go a foot up above that and 3'6" above that. So the different heights. So the basin's up there, but as far as driveway height, as we're driving around, and we also got to put a rock lug on this to kind of cover it up. Basin height, if you think about it, so you go out there. I think the string line may be too high.
Those are his celebrity glasses. He's ready for Hollywood.
I'm gonna start calling him Hollywood.
Okay, hey guys, I'm out here. I'm heading to Dallas.
Good to see you.
Gotta go help the other son. I'm taking care of him as much as I can.
It's a full-time job making the circuit with these boys,
Hey,
isn't
I'll
it?
tell you what, he's got me so confused. I understand a little bit about what he's saying, and then I'm thinking, well, wait a minute, how's that work?
We'll grab a set of plans out of the truck. I'll show you the site plan. It'll make more sense.
I'll tell you what. When I come back from Dallas, I'll stop by and look at it again, see how much.
Well,
and maybe I gotta see it visually.
In 10 days, we'll be here on the 19th, because that's when
I'll be back on the 21st.
Okay, well, by the 19th, we're gonna have a wall.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Okay, you promised me.
Come
that.
hell or high water, we're gonna have a wall.
Well, I'll check. I'll call before I come back. I don't want to wait come over here without.
Because the problem is scheduling that gunite is two weeks out, and so that's.
Is that the guy out of Lotus?
No, these guys are out of Shirts.
Okay.
We found a crew. Some of the gunite crews are 3 months out.
Wow.
And so these guys were 2 weeks out. So I wanted to try them out on the wall first to make sure I like their quality before we do the pool with these guys. And then I'm going to schedule the concrete like I was just telling those guys every Friday, every 2 weeks. And so we'll have a target hit. We just start pouring.
Well, you need to get Basin for that little travel trailer. Instead of putting it in storage, I'll put it up here and let you all use it if you want.
Oh yeah. Well, like I said, I got those young kids. I call them kids, but they're 20-something that they're driving in from Beeville. So it's the only place we can find labor. Yeah. Guys willing to work and willing to drive in. I'm all happy.
Absolutely, right?
Yeah.
That's you got to want to work to drive nearly 4 hours to get to work.
You must really want to work.
Yeah.
But that's good though.
That's
good.
excellent. Straight up.
Okay, hey guys, I'm out of
Hey,
here.
pleasure
Y'all
meeting
take
you.
care. Nice meeting you. Okay.
All right, watch your step, buddy.
Oh, I will. Tell your brother.
So we lost our drywall guy, and
Yeah.
Shannon Electrical. Well, I got the bid in from the latest bid on the drywall and painting. It came in at $40,000 for the drywall and painting, which I only budgeted about half of that. So it's time to start taking out some more bids. But it's expensive up here. I mean, everything's a lot more than San Antonio.
Yeah. I know a sheetrock guy. He's in San Antonio though. I could just talk to him. See at least let him give you a price.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic.
Okay. And then Stucco, all those guys are still good?
He said he can show them Monday.
Okay. Sweet.
But yeah, once they're going to set up the scaffolding for us, and we'll be able to put those 3 windows in that came in late.
Oh, gotcha. The ones.
Yep.
Here.
So it's much easier to use their scaffolding than use a ladder.
But like I said, we got a factory going here.
Yeah, and we got a lot of wood cut for the frames already.
I was railing on y'all because I thought y'all did one over in 30 minutes. Like, come on,
you know
guys.
what's better than that? You know what's better than that. You should have assumed they were already down the hill or something.
Well, I walk up, you're sitting down, taking a break. You got one done. I'm like, come on, guys. Justin's sweating.
These boys smooth out.
All right, how about we get a quick meeting, everybody? Okay. Up top here. Thank you very much. Look at those guns.
I've already burned how many calories a day?
I don't even get
6,438 calories.
Oh, come on.
That's what it says, yeah.
I think you're watching lying, dude.
Is it?
Yeah.
And I've done 15,000
Hey,
steps.
Gavin,
He's not
everybody,
lying.
come around real quick.
He's lying.
We got Robert.
Now you got me all depressed now. I thought I was burning the calories. Now
Do you realize 6,000 calories? You'd have to
I'd be
probably
like
climb Mount Everest twice to burn that much calories.
Hey,
All right.
I've done that.
All right. Hey, Robert's grabbing a chair. That's a good idea. All right.
This old man's tired.
Yeah, I know you are. We're running slow. It's Friday. Hey, everybody. This has been a fantastic week. I just wanted to thank y'all for putting your heart, blood, sweat, and tears into this. We've only been working together for 5 days now, and look what we've accomplished. We have built a 83 linear foot retaining wall with another 20-foot kicker, all the steel. I mean, and it's amazing. I'm very impressed, and so obviously today's payday. So that's y'all's reward. That's why y'all do it. I mean, I'm actually having fun out here, and hope y'all having a little bit of fun. I know it's work. But this is a great group of guys, great team. So thank you very much. Trying to make this fun. Hope y'all felt like I respected y'all, and I took y'all's input, and we all came together, made some good decisions, and so hopefully it was a good week for y'all. I'd like to see y'all here next coming weeks. We've got tons of pours coming up. We got probably 10 more pours to do, but the big thing is we're trying to meet that Friday deadline. So we got 4 hard days ahead of us. So we're going to stay a little bit late on those days. And we got to push through to get the gunite spray done. I'm probably going to get 6 trucks for that, I think. Just kind of doing a math in my head. 6 trucks is, I think, 72, almost 72 yards of gunite. Yeah. And it's going to be pretty substantial. So we got lots of steel tie-in. Come ready to work next week. And yeah, it's going to be awesome. So payday. So like y'all said, I added on for the drive time all the way out here. I added on 7.5 hours. to y'all's checks. So y'all drove out here, but I paid you to drive home if you look at it that way. So there you go. So I added a fuel reimbursement on here too. So I got Gavin's check.
Thank you, sir.
Yep. Kyle. Yep. Chris. Jay. And Robert. And you guys working for free, right?
This week, all I've been doing is spending money. You know.
hey, can I borrow some money?
Yeah, like I told you, this guy like working for the last guy I worked with.
You guys get paid. We pay
I
you
work all day. The guy at the end of the day asked me if he can borrow 20.
Damn.
I like to hear the big bucks. That's why I wait a little longer.
Yeah.
No, it's all good, man.
So yeah,
It's
paid
all
you.
good.
I'll pay you guys bi-monthly. So
Yeah.
that's what I've always done. I like the military pay scale, 1st and 15th.
Yeah.
So.
Makes it easy.
Yeah, these guys are like, no, Fridays. I'm like, okay, all right, fine. I can, since y'all work so hard, we can comply. But thanks y'all. Thanks a lot. I'll see y'all next on Monday. At what time, Kyle and Jay?
8:30.
Oh, 8:30. Right. Okay. Okay.
8:50, Kyle.
Yeah. All right. Thank y'all. Y'all have a great weekend. Okay. Make sure y'all your breath.
Yeah.